to do when you lose your train of thought in the middle of a very important talk or presentation at work and you just completely lose your train of thought. What do? Overcoming your fear of public speaking is so difficult. And something like 73% of all adults, according to the National Mental Health Institute, have a fear of public speaking anxiety. So when they do speak in public, they experience some kind of anxiety. But what do you do once you've overcome that fear and now you find yourself losing your train of thought in the middle of a talk or in the middle of a really important presentation? This is the video for you. Hey, welcome to Love on Stage. I'm Magogodi. If you're ready to make sales and spark action when you speak, this is your place. I've helped dozens of leaders choose courage over comfort by speaking with confidence and love, especially in tough conversations. Because listen, public speaking isn't just a thing that you do on stage. It's what you do every time you deliver a work presentation, when you interview for that plump job you deserve, when you negotiate your salary, and every time you sweat bullets during a big pitch. That's all public speaking. It's time to level up your storytelling because your story matters. So, you ready to speak like a boss? Let's get into your most powerful story. Number one, you're in a body, okay? Take a breath in that body and it will help you almost immediately to kind of just recalibrate and recenter yourself in this particular moment. Not necessarily like to reorient you against like, oh my God, this is the worst thing that's ever happened to me, but just to calm your nervous system. A really deep breath like this. In the moment, as organically as makes sense for whatever that moment is, as soon as you take that breath, it tells your body to calm down a little bit, okay? Number two, one of the things that you can do is just repeat the last thing that you said. Or you can use a rhetorical question. You can ask yourself something out loud, ask the audience something out loud. That's the last thing that you remember from your talk or the direction that you know you're supposed to go in. One of the most important things to remember, and this is just such gold if you can remember it in the moment, you're the only person who knows that you just messed up. Your audience has no idea what you're supposed to say next, the next thing out of your mouth. They have no idea where the story is going, the data that you're supposed to pull out to prove the story. They don't know any of that. So don't overanalyze in the moment that like, oh my God, I'm off track and now everybody can see and da 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 da. No, everybody actually doesn't know. They don't know what the next thing is. So all you need to do in the moment is just focus on bringing yourself back to a calm state, because more likely than not, the thing that allows you to go off track is some kind of nervousness, is some kind of disembodiment from the present moment, and letting yourself kind of get out of the moment of giving the speech, offering something that's a gift. You got in your head a little bit and that makes you nervous. And when you get nervous, you get anxious, and that can often lead to like some kind of blanking out. So come back to the moment as quickly as you can. Repeat what you just said a moment ago, if that's useful. Ask a rhetorical question. Bonus points if you can use some kind of humor, if you can make fun of yourself in the moment to say, oh my God, well, this is embarrassing. I totally forgot the thing that is the most important for an expert in my field to understand about mental health. Let's say you're talking about mental health. I just completely blanked on the thing that's the most important about mental health. And here I am. I'm the number one mental health expert in the country, right? The chances are when you do that, it brings the room, like that tension releases in the room because you allow other people into your experience. But then also like you're making fun of it, like making the moment light. And using humor as a way to get back on your feet. So get the audience laughing, and it's almost like a distraction tactic. Like while you're laughing, I'm going to be over here remembering where the conversation is supposed to go. And I bet you more than anything, once you do that and you regain your confidence a little bit that yes, I actually am in charge here. I do know what I'm saying. you're going to remember what you're supposed to say next. Another thing that I've noticed when I'm on stage or when I'm giving some presentation or talk that's really important to me is, who am I focused on in the moment, who's tripping me up and making me like second guess myself? Because sometimes your focus is on the person who's on their phone, they're not that engaged, or maybe somebody who has a face that's telling you like, I'm totally bored, I wish I was somewhere else. As soon as I see me in the moment, like, oh, I'm paying too much attention to this person, and now all of my focus isn't on being present and what needs to be offered to this audience, and I shift myself away from that person, it's really important because it helps me not only take away my attention, but focus on somebody who is like giving you all the signals that yes, like they're nodding and they're going ahead with what you're saying, they're clapping, they're the person that you came here for. Not everybody in the room is going to resonate with what you have to say exactly the same way. That's fine. That's not your job. Your job is to be there for the people who are there to hear you. So if you find yourself tripped up, pay attention to who are you giving most of your attention to in the audience. Is it the most supportive audience member? And if it's not, find the most attentive person with your eyes and lock in, okay? Lock into that person who's cheering you on, who looks like everything that you're saying is landing, is going to help them once they get out of this room to do something that changes them, that is maybe the beginning of a whole new day for them in their life. That's 100% going to help your brain remember, because now you're sending happy chemicals back into your brain. And it's like, oh, we're in a good place. We're juicy. We like this. How can we be of service? Now you remember everything that you're supposed to have said, right? So when you find yourself getting off track in the middle of a talk or some significant speaking opportunity, it's totally normal. Use your breath to help center your body and to help bring you back into the present moment. Notice who are you focusing on in the room, and how can you bring that focus and energy back to the person who looks most attentive, who's taking notes on paper and nodding and clapping and very much here for everything you have to say. Lock in with that person. And if you're having a terrible time, you can say it out loud. Oh my goodness, I've just forgotten, what I'm supposed to say next. I'm totally losing the train of my thought. Say something funny if you can. Make fun of the moment, make fun of yourself, and that will help you gain some moments so that you can recalibrate in real time and get back on your feet. And the most important thing, I don't want you to forget this, so I'm going to repeat it again. Nobody knows that you just messed up. You're the only person that knows that you just messed up. So you are also the only person who knows that the next thing to have said wasn't necessarily jumping into this third story that you had planned initially. I'm only going to tell this as my wrap. Jump into that next story, because that's the thing that you remember. And when you're telling that story, it will help you reorganize your thoughts as you're telling it, so you close in a more graceful way. Or if you close a little bit earlier, that's fine too. Nobody knows that you're messing up. You're the only person. So as soon as you let that go, you're not messing up. You're telling it in the order that it was supposed to be heard today, okay? Once you make peace with that, everything kind of becomes a little less, oh my God, this is the end of it. I'm like gonna escalate my nerves. The point is, let's bring the nerves down a little bit again, and let's continue speaking and saying what this moment calls for. I hope that was useful. If you would like more tools, I would love to work with you. I have a free 7-day course that helps you craft, share, and unpack your signature story in a really powerful way. It's completely free. It comes to you over email. All you have to do is join the wait list, and the details are in the description box below. I hope I see you there. Was that useful? You want to go even deeper? I'd love to support you. My coaching program can help you make money and spark action whenever you speak with intention. Book time to chat using the link in the description box below. Also, leave a comment if this video offered something you needed to hear today, or if you have a question you want me to unpack in next week's episode. Fresh episodes drop every Thursday at 12 p.m. Eastern. Hit subscribe to get a notification so you never miss a beat. Thank you so much for being here. I want you to know that your story matters. And I'm here to help you stand out from the stage to the page.